recording is.
Got it.
Let me throw these on to make sure that I'm in this big echoing too much.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, here we go. So we are super excited to kick this off, man. We call this just freaking start, right?
Yeah.
It's time for us to just take that leap, right? Just let go of the ledge, right?
Right.
Just go ahead and jump out there and go ahead and step into who God designed us to be, right?
Exactly.
It's time for us we've created a space in our lives, right? To keep us what we've defined as safe, right? Which is our comfort zone. And we're going to talk today about what that comfort zone is, you know what I mean?
Right.
The dangers of it. And most importantly, we're going to talk about 10 keys, 10 actionable steps, 10 things that we can literally apply immediately to begin our transformation, right?
Right.
I'm ready to dive in. So I'm going to let my brother introduce himself, and then I'll do the same.
What's going on?
And we're going to make this happen. Let's go.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's good? I'm glad that you guys are here. I'm glad you guys are present, and I'm glad that you guys are ready to learn, right? Ready to take that action, ready to implement it today. My name is Coach SJ. I have a company called Inner Soul Development, okay? And what that is a personal development, personal responsibility and accountability organization where basically I take you off your autopilot, take you off course to your greater self. The autopilot is that comfort zone, right? Take you off course to your greater self. I make sure you understand that life is to be controlled and that life should not control you. So once again, I'm here with my brother Reese, and I'm excited to actually be. We had things before. We used to do some online stuff, but to be able to be here with him, to be able to go over this is amazing. Reese, let him know what you do, what you are, who you are, what's going on.
You listen, every time he hits that note, that inner soul, I get excited, right? I feel chills when he does that. But listen, man, yes, I'm excited as well. Again, my name is Reese. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a speaker, author, minister. I'm just all around. I just bring the positivity, right? I just bring the transformation, right? I just show up and just let God do what he needs to do in the moment, right? Through me, right? I'm a willing vessel. That's what we're going to call me today, right?
There we go.
So, and we're going to share our contact info and all that stuff. But listen, this is not one of those presentations where we came to talk about us or talk about our accomplishments or talk about who we know and who we had met. We came to serve a healthy meal. Like, we want you to leave stuff. We want you to be like, dude, enough. I can't. No more. We want you like have you been to the Brazilian restaurant when you have it up on green and they keep bringing you the meat? We want you to turn that thing to red. Like, all right, now that's it. Now I need a playback. That was enough, right? That's what we're here to do, right? We're here to give and serve, right in the spirit of going into Thanksgiving, right? So
that's right.
So listen, we're going to go ahead and dive right in, right? So 10 keys today is what we're going to share, right? 10 keys to help you finally escape that comfort zone. So what I want to do is this, right? I want to start with, I'm going to just read the dictionary definition of comfort zone, and then I'm going to have my brother kind of break that down a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to dive right in. So what the dictionary said, go ahead, go. Of course.
Real quick, guys, with these 10 keys, I want you to write them down. Because we're going to have a plan of action for each one. So that way you can implement it right now and start to do what you need to do in order to get yourself out of that prison. So this is not, this is a presentation, but it's also a prison. Say it again.
He called it a prison. That comes
right. It's a prison. So this is not a presentation. This is a conversation. So we want your feedback in this as well. So we're going to be asking if you have any questions or any comments, to please put it in the comment section. We're here to be able to answer any questions you have. Again, in order for you to learn, you got to give us feedback, right? Of course. How can you learn if you have questions? So definitely ask the questions that you need to ask, and you can remain anonymous, whatever the case. We'll read it to you, whatever you want, wherever you feel comfortable. it will be taken care of. Whatever, whatever that is, your question will be answered. Okay. I just wanted to
Well
say that
said.
real quick.
No,
Yeah.
well said. So, and what we'll do is we'll go through each key, and at the end we'll have some time for questions and answers, and we'll address as much as we can, and then we'll continue to flow. If we dig up, if we unearth a problem, an issue, something that we need to tackle, if we start a fire, we're going to put that fire out, right? We're not going to leave you burning, right?
Yeah.
So we'll dive in. So well said. I'm glad you highlighted that. So let's talk about what comfort zone is defined as, right? A place or situation where one feels safe or at ease. Okay. This is the one though. This is the one. A place where behaviors and activities fit a routine and create patterns that reduce stress and reduce stress and the perception of risk. A place where behaviors and activities fit a routine and create patterns that reduce stress and the perception of risk. Talk about that a little bit.
Let me just go. I want to break that down. Okay, I want to just break that down because in our minds, a person who's in a comfort zone, we automatically assume, which we're going to talk about assumptions, but we automatically assume that it's no movement. No. You actually are performing tasks in your comfort zone. You're going to work, you're performing tasks that you complete repeatedly. You complete those tasks repeatedly this is important, with a predictable outcome. So everything in your comfort zone or those activities and routines will always result in what you already expect. Right? So you may think that you're being successful because those past challenges were already completed because they're repeated. But it's the same predictable outcome. I want you guys to understand that. So there's activity, but the outcome is always predictable. It always reduces the stress. Like, I want to talk about that. I want to tackle that real quick. When you tackle familiar tasks in your comfort zone, you are aware of the risk, and so that way you avoid it. That's why the predictability, right, is the way that it is. So the outcome is always going to be reduce stress, reduce risk, task completed on a repeated basis.
So that's actually the danger of it, because if you're literally stagnant and just not moving, right, it's easier to identify. But if I'm actually doing some things, I'm checking a few boxes, right? So there is activity. I'm going to work. I'm paying some bills, I'm enjoying life a little. I'm doing a little something, but I'm doing it in this predictable, I love that word, in this predictable bubble, right? I'm keeping it simple. I know, look, 1 and 1 is going to get me 2. I'm going to do this and I'm going to stay in here. Now, my hopes and dreams are out there, but I'm just going to stay in here, right? Because I'm going to trick myself. Oh, I've been there. I don't want to get ahead, but I got it. I like how you broke that down. And I like how you talked about, staying in that zone is keeping is an attempt to reduce stress, right? And keep things. I like that. I really, really like that. Talk about the risk part. Go ahead.
Think about this. In that comfort zone, being that things are repeated, you're opening up challenges that you already repeated already, right? That you already completed. So it's like a repeated cycle of predictability. So those situations that come, baby mama drama, it's already in your zone. You already completed those tasks. So the predictability is the main factor, right? The results that you're getting, you already know.
Got you. I see what you're saying. Okay, I got you. So there's like within the bounds, right? Like my little mat right here. Like I can dance on this mat, but I'm not stepping off of it because what's out there? Yep. Whoa, wait a minute now. I'm not going out there. So you're gonna get this 2-step and that's it. I'm not going, whoa, I'm not, none of that. Yep. Got you. I got you because I understand this. I understand this level of chaos. I know what that feels like. Okay, I get punched in the face, get an ice pack, it'll go down in about 3 days, boom, 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 dab a little makeup on. I know what that's like. And I'm okay with that. But what's out there? Whoa. I don't know about that now. Control. I don't know if I can control. I like that. Okay. No, this is awesome. So it leads us right into, right? We kind of, why is it a thing? Why is it a problem? You've already started to highlight that, right?
I'm gonna tell you. Go ahead. Very important. And And I want you guys to write this down because it goes right. I want you guys to write this down. Growth, there's no growth there. Absolutely. Because if it's predictable, nothing's growing if it's predictable, right? Right? So there's no growth. Now, growth is progress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Progress is movement. Movement is stepping outside of yourself. So because you're not doing any of those things, then you're ineffectively mentally disabled, mentally stuck, mentally not growing mentally.
No, I like that. So your growth, so there is movement. We've already said that, right? But what happens is the growth is limited. It's like my folks, they have a fish tank, right? And they have a shark in there. But in that tank, he can only grow to a certain size. But if you take him and put him in a larger tank or throw him back in the ocean, he actually can grow. But in that tank, his growth is limited. So I'm like, what's going to happen? They're like, no, literally the environment hit that comfort zone that we put him in is going to limit how much he can grow. Oh, I like that. Okay. Okay. So your growth is limited.
What's the name wanted me to repeat it? So I'm going to repeat it one more time.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Because Adrian, I guess her name is Adrian, right?
Yep, go for it.
She wanted me to repeat it. So again, there's no growth. Growth is progress. We already know that, right? Progress is movement. You got to move in order to progress, right? And movement is actually stepping outside of yourself. So you're not doing any of those things in a comfort zone. You're moving, but you're limited because your growth is stuck. Has stopped.
Right.
You're
that shark in the tank.
There's a ceiling.
Exactly. You're that shark in the fish tank, right? Oh man, that's huge. That's huge. I really love that. So your growth is limited. So that's one of the big problems of when you're stuck in your comfort zone. Another thing is that I wanted to talk about is you lose your uniqueness, right? When you stay in that bubble, right? The very things that were deposited in you to make you special, to make you different, to make you stand out, your very purpose, that thing that only you can do, that assignment that was given to you, you start to lose it in there, right? You start to lose it when you stay in that bubble, because in order to expand, in order for that shark to be that killer, that shark that he was designed to be, being in that little tank, it's cute in my house, but who he was designed to be is being limited. So for us, our uniqueness, the very thing that makes us special, the very thing that we're called to do is choked out of us as we stay in that comfort zone. Right. Just think about that.
That one of a kind.
Oh my goodness.
That one of a kind.
Yes.
You know, when you have a snowflake, they may look the same, but if you look at each snowflake, one is unique. There's not one same snowflake. So you have, like he said, uniqueness. It's almost like, speak to this about when I was saying, we had a conversation earlier regarding watered down. Watering it down. So speak to that. Yeah.
Exactly. So right. So you have, there's a special thing about you, right? And in order for it to fully blossom, right, you have to step outside of your zone of comfort, right? You have to take some risks. You have to take some chances. You have to shoot your shot. You have to be willing to fall, scrape yourself up, spill a little blood, pick yourself up, and develop that thing. And when we don't have the courage to step out and do that, right, that gift, again, it's like, you know, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. Yeah, it begins to get watered down. And where you were on fire at one point, now your light begins to get dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, right? You don't get to just store it away until you're ready to use it. If you don't use it, that's a principle, right? If you don't tap into it, right, you're going to begin to lose it. If you put your arm in a sling, right, my arm is perfectly fine. But if I put it in a sling for a month, and then you take that sling off, I'll never be able to use my arm again. Literally, my arm is fine, thankfully. But if I put it in a sling and I don't use it for a month, I literally will lose the use. That's a law. It's the law of use. So if I don't use it for what it was intended to be, it's going to fizzle away, and it's going to be weak. And unfortunately, we don't get to just decide one day to get that back. We're aging, right? Life is happening, and today is the youngest and most vibrant I'll ever be. I don't know about most vibrant, but it's the youngest I'll ever be, right? And so if I don't use my gifts, if I don't step outside of this box I've created for myself, then the very thing that I was designed to do, it begins to get watered down and weak, right? And then I'm showing up as I like watered down, some watered down version of myself, and it doesn't feel right. And then the anointing that's supposed to come through me, it's not as potent, right? It's like a Pepsi. You just leave it sitting out, and then it gets weak, and it's like, ugh, what is that? Where's the bite? It didn't even bite me back. I sip a Pepsi. I needed to talk to me, but so your Pepsi is sitting out, and then it then got weak, and now you just need to pour that out, right? So that's what happens with our gifts. That's what happens with our gifts. You can't hear me? Oh, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Okay, there we go. You had to unmute me. You had to
pardon me. My bad. I was in the zone. Maybe I was being selfish.
It's got.
I didn't even realize it. But no, but let's continue. Let's continue. So what else happens? What's another danger? That's right. Look, listen. What's another danger? So growth is limited. You lose your uniqueness. What else?
And you have lack of motivation.
Let me
tell you this. It's I see this a lot in people, right? Because there's no lack of motivation, there's no goal-oriented behavior. If you're stuck in a predictability situation, that there's no goals to go outside of that. There's no goals in there, right? There's no goal-oriented behavior, right? Which causes you to act. In order for you to have goals, you got to act. You got to step outside. You got to do something. You got to progress. With that predictability habit and ritual that you have in your comfort zone, you can't add anything to that. You may want, you may say you want a thing, right? But your routine and your habits keep you in mediocrity.
Wow. I like that. So you lose that motivation, you lose that. And then like a lot of us, what we don't realize, we go searching for it. We want to tap into this and tap into this and tap into that. I need to get motivated. I need to get motivated. And it's like, well, actually, we need to have some goals and some aims and some desires that require more of us.
Require movement.
Right? That require exactly. So I'm aiming for what like you said, predictable things within this little box that I've created for myself. But and there's no motivation there because like you said, it's predictable. I know that if I step over here, this happens. If I step over here, this happens. That's not encouraging. That's not motivating. That's not uplifting. That doesn't require me to dig deep and stretch myself. It's just like, well, I know what this is, so I can do this.
Right.
I love
it. A goal is something that you haven't gotten to that you want to get to.
Exactly.
So in your routine and your habitual behavior in your comfort zone, which you created.
Absolutely.
You created personal responsibility. You have to, you in your predictability that you created, okay, you are not going to go to you're not going to see any goals because goals equals future, something that you haven't. So there's no goal-oriented behavior because again, your ritual and your habits that you've created have left you in a state of mediocrity. Period.
I love that. Let me read this. Let me read these comments. Let's see. Malik said, "Good morning, good brother. Learning to be comfortable, being uncomfortable brings change." You preaching. If you're looking for change, you're gonna have to do some uncomfortable things. Exactly. Learning to be comfortable, being uncomfortable. Finding comfort in that. Absolutely. Unmute me, Reese. My bad, bro. So one more thing, and then we're going to dive. One more thing, and then we're going to move forward, right? One more thing that I want to make sure that we highlight, like a danger of being in our comfort zone, right? When we stay in our comfort zone, we become lazy.
Yes.
We become really lazy, right?
Yes.
Because to the point that what we're talking about, because our growth is limited, right? I'm losing my uniqueness. Right? I've lost my motivation. And then I get lazy. Let's just be real. That's a word we want to stay away from. But we get lazy because we're in this routine and it's like We can do it. We can do this routine with our eyes closed in our sleep. And so we're not putting forth any extra effort. We're not pushing ourselves, and we start to get lazy. Absolutely. Unique said complacent. Exactly. We're just kind of
Absolutely.
here, and then time
Absolutely.
goes by, and then you look up, and 5 years have gone by.
You still the same. You still get the same result. Same result.
Exactly. Mentally and emotionally, you're not growing and maturing. Physically, right? You're not stretching. You're not taking good care of yourself. You're everything about you, your relationships. You're just lazy. You're lazy in learning, lazy in communication. You're lazy in your relationships. You're lazy in life, period. You just have a lazy spirit when you stay stuck in that comfort zone.
Absolutely.
So
let me tell you.
This is what we want to attack today. We want to destroy that.
Let me let you know. I'm going to be honest with you. Let me have a moment of transparency, guys. Okay. Mm-hmm. When I was actually in a state of not enoughness. Okay. Where I was so inconsistent with things in my life, every area of my life, very inconsistent. It had no discipline. Absolutely. I lacked self-discipline, 100%. Right. But what I did very well was I was able to ride the gray area of life. I knew how to ride that gray line. Okay.
Oh no, you gotta tell us what that means.
That
you gotta break that down.
is the back door. I'll find something to beat the system. I find something where it benefits me. I find something to be able to be not responsible, taking personal responsibility. I'll find that gray area and I will ride it.
Wow.
Okay. And by me doing all that, what I was attracting was just stuff that I did not want. I was miserable. I was attracting everything that I did not want because I wasn't taking personal responsibility. I was inconsistent. I didn't feel like I was worth anything, right? So I knew that something had to give. And that was me learning me and doing the internal work, not the external work, the internal work.
Absolutely. Wow. That was heavy. And thank you for sharing that because you really just awakened something in me. Now, unlike Sean, I was consistent. Consistently inconsistent, right? I was consistently inconsistent, right? And the question is why, right? Same thing you talked about, which I talk about all the time. That underlying feeling of I'm not enough, that underlying feeling of I'm not worthy or I'm not capable. Every time I wanted to step outside of my comfort zone, every time I wanted to do something, every time I wanted to take a risk or take a chance, right? Who are you to do that? Who are you? You gonna do what? Who do you realize? And so having that dangerous relationship with my past, right? Having that poor self-esteem and self-image, right? Not seeing myself as enough, not seeing myself as worthy, not seeing myself as having what it takes, right? As being able to learn the skills that I need to learn, right? To go where I need to go, to do what I need to do. I had this monster hovering over me, right? Reminding me of all of my mistakes and all of my mistakes, pardon me, and all of my errors in judgment. And I hid behind, I'm telling you, I let that thing keep me small. I would hide behind other people, right? I want to do this. I want to do this. Who am I going to do it with? Let me connect with this person because, if I have them with me, then they give me a level of comfort, right? Because I can't go out there by myself. Let me try this. Let me hide behind this. Or then so I found all these comfortable places to hide, right? Absolutely. And I tricked myself into thinking I was making progress, right? Because I was doing some things, but to your point, I was doing them within this little bubble, right? I was reading the books, I was studying, I was learning, but I wasn't facing those monsters that I'm not enough, that I'm not worthy, that I'm not capable, that I don't deserve to be happy. I would start feeling good and I would start sabotaging situations, right? Whoa, this woman, I'm looking at my wife funny because she's such an amazing woman. Do I deserve this? And it impacted every area of my life. Every time a blessing would come my way, I'm looking at it funny, like I'm reading the name. It says Reese, but is this for me? I'm telling you, that was a struggle for me for a long time. And it all came from, that discomfort. Like you said, I like how you said, what did you call it? I was stuck in unworthiness is
Yes.
in. Listen, that's heavy, brother. So listen, we're gonna push forward, right? We're gonna dive into these 10 keys, man. Thank you for sharing that, man. And it
Thank
allowed me
you.
to open up and share some things
I
as well.
just feel like I was there, and I'm still working. I'm still a work in
Yeah,
progress. But
heck yeah.
the key word is progress. So I'm good. So I'm getting there.
That's right. We're pushing forward. That's what this is about, right? As I say all the time, I'm always first partaker, right? This is for me. Thank y'all for tuning in, but this is for me, right? So thank you. So now it's time, right? Let's dive into these 10 keys, right? Oh, y'all
All
thought
right.
we
All right.
started. No, we haven't even, we're just warming up. That was the layup line. You know what I mean? We were warming up. So listen, we're gonna dive into these 10 keys, right? So the first one we're going to dive in. Hold on, let me miss constant work. Exactly. We're all under construction for sure. For sure. We sure are. So let's
Right.
dive into these 10 keys, right?
So
Number one, the number one key. Let me set the foundation for this one. The number one key is your attitude.
yes.
It's your attitude. It's your philosophy. It's how you choose to view yourself, how you choose to view what's possible for you, how you choose to view the people, places, and things around you. Everything stems from your attitude, right? Attitude is a
Absolutely.
settled way of thinking. Let me give the definition. I want you to dive in. A
All
settled
right.
way of thinking or feeling about someone or something, typically one that is reflected in a person's behavior. Your attitude, yes, your mindset or your philosophy about the world, regard yourself first and foremost, right? How you truly see yourself literally is the foundational principle to unlock everything in your life. So
Yo,
we're
I
gonna
can't
talk
even. I
about that a
can't
little
even.
bit.
Yo, I can't even. After what you just said, after that, I don't even know what to say. But anyway, I do. But I do believe what you said about how your thoughts, actions, right? Everything is aligned. You know, it's actually your integrity, right? Same thing, right?
Mhm.
Everything's in line. Thoughts, feelings, actions, right? It's your character. It's your character, right?
Mhm.
And your attitude is the first thing that sets everything off. It's the way you lead people. If you have a bad, if your attitude is not in line, it's going to impact that. It's going to impact how you make money. It's going to impact how you sell. It's going to impact how you communicate with others.
Mhm.
Attitude is the basis, the foundation of everything. What your
Absolutely.
thought process is, what it is that you set your day off. If you set
Right.
your day with having everything aligned, thought, feeling, actions, then you're going to end the day with great results, right?
So
But what happens is some people think one thing, say another, and do another.
absolutely. So I love that you went to personal integrity, right? And obviously that's something that I preach all the time, right? That's one of the pillars of self-esteem, something that I definitely live by. Your thoughts, words, and actions being in alignment. But let's go even a layer deeper, right? When it comes to our attitude, right? What we just talked about, the word mindset came up. Thank you, right? What we what we just talked about when you were sharing where you were, right? I'm not enough. That's an
Yes,
attitude. I'm not
yes,
worthy. That's an attitude about me.
yes.
I'm not
Oh man.
capable. That's an attitude about me. I don't know anyone who's ever lived in that type of neighborhood. That's an attitude, right? That's a perspective. That's a philosophy, right? People from where I'm from, listen, I'm from the middle of North Philly. I'm from the block. People from where I'm from don't do that kind of stuff. So that's an attitude about what's possible for me. That's an attitude about relationships. I don't know anyone that has a healthy marriage. How am I going to have one? That's an attitude. So anything,
that was
any
good. That's good.
philosophy, right?
Yeah.
How we see it. So every situation that we step into, even as we go through these other keys, your attitude about these things is what's going to determine whether or not these things are going to take root and unlock the thing that you needed to unlock. If they're going to give you what you need to let go of that ledge so you can leap, right?
Mm, mm.
So your attitude, that's why we started with attitude, because your attitude determines everything.
Yeah.
Your,
It
how you look at a situation. When you walk in a room, what's your philosophy about the people, places, and things in the movement in this room? And more importantly, what's your philosophy? What if you tell yourself you don't belong in this room? And then it shows It
It's
oozes
true.
through your
Oh
pores, right?
man.
You go to that job interview, and it's a nice starting salary. It's a position you're qualified for it on paper. But if you're not qualified for it, if your attitude says, if you tell yourself maybe you're not qualified for it, when you sit across the table from the interviewer, they're going to feel that. So
They're
your
gonna
attitude determines
100%. Yes,
everything.
it is. If you
Everything.
have an attitude of doom and gloom, then you are always going to see the world as one huge problem. You ever had somebody that you talk to that you give them solutions and they find a problem in every solution? Okay. They
Yes.
will find a problem in every solution, right? Also,
Absolutely.
if you have an attitude of blame, right, then you'll never take responsibility for whatever happens. You will never take that personal responsibility. So attitude,
Absolutely.
yes, is the key.
Absolutely.
It is the starter. It's the engine. It's the engine to that vehicle of success. That's the engine.
So real quick, right? So okay, so man, I feel you, man. That's okay. I do need to start paying attention to my. So what does that look like, right? So first of all, everything always starts with an awakening. It starts with a consciousness, right? So from this moment, now we have that awareness of, oh, wait a minute. Like I always say, it is whatever I say it is. When I say that, I'm talking about my attitude about a particular thing. So now that we have this awakening, we have this consciousness, and we understand that, oh, wait a minute. What happens in here, what I do, where I go, whatever, what I accomplish, my relationships, my money, everything stems from my attitude. Because if I believe that I'm worth more, then I'm going to do the work. I'm going to do the research. I'm going to take the steps toward the thing that I want to become because I believe that I'm worth more. So it starts there. So we can substitute attitude with belief. What do you believe about you? Right? But it starts with that consciousness. Now we have to become, we have to start thinking and evaluating situations, and we have to turn off autopilot.
Yes.
That's what we have to do. So
yes.
Attitude, how do we start to change our attitude and pay attention to our attitude about ourselves and about our world? Turning off autopilot. A lot of us we're just drifting through life on autopilot. It's like, no. Now every situation it shows up, and I'm like, okay, that's just a blue can. But is it just a blue can? Now I'm thinking about my thinking. That's all about developing our philosophy and our
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. You have to, and you always speak to this about the power of focus. So now we have to see, if we see the good in certain things. Everybody says this all the time, and I think some people just say it to say it. There's a blessing in every lesson. Okay, so if that's the case, let's start seeing those blessings, right? Let's start using our power of focus to see the good in certain situations, which will help alter our attitude, right? Which will help give us an adjustment, right?
Exactly.
Start seeing that.
Exactly.
Start being disciplined. Start thinking about people. Start doing things that will help, pivot your direction when it comes to your attitude.
Yeah. So think about that, right? Whatever situation, whatever challenges you're facing right now, right? Imagine if, right, you step back a little bit, or I like to say zoom out a little, and look at it like this. What else could this mean? I know I told myself a particular story about this thing. What else could this mean? What that's doing is you're putting your creativity and your mind to work. Okay, I know that happened, but what else could that mean? When I tell you that's a powerful thing to arm yourself with, because what you're doing is you're presenting options. Now, instead of being on autopilot, going right to that quick assumption, which we're going to talk about later, right?
Yep.
You're turning what you thought was only had one answer or one way to look at it. You're creating a multiple choice. And it's like, okay, wow, this means this, and this, you said that, and this means this. Well, what else could it mean?
Right.
What else could it mean? And now it's like, oh, wait a minute. And the attitude thing, the adjustment here is that I get nothing has meaning until I assign it meaning. That's an attitude, right? I get to look at this and say, wow, well, what else could that mean? What else could that mean? And now I'm opening up my world. And now what went from just one thing, now there's multiple options, multiple lanes, multiple ways to view a situation. This is life changing. So now ask yourself that, what else could that mean? Because again, we want to program ourselves with empowering thoughts, right? We don't want to just concede to, this means this, and that's just it. That's what keeps us small and keeps us in that comfort zone. But if I explore other options, well, what about this? And what about this? But that's an attitude. The attitude is, I believe that there's multiple ways to look at a particular situation.
Absolutely.
That opens up the world to us.
And always remember, first things first, right? Remember, your attitude is your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So what are you thinking? How are you questioning your thoughts? How are you questioning? So, because once you alter this, your actions and your everything is going to be in alignment. You're gonna start showing through your actions, through your attitude, what you're going to bring into your life.
You said something powerful. I don't even know if you realize you said it. You said questioning your thoughts. That's exactly what this is about. So just because that thought, listen, as awesome as I am, just because I thought that does not make it right. I think some goofy thoughts. I'm wrong a whole lot. And I have to challenge those thoughts and those feelings, because what will show up, right, might be the remnants of some old pain. It might be some old thinking that shows up. And just because it shows up doesn't mean it just gets to run amok and have its way. I have to, okay, well, wait a minute. Why? Well, why is that? Is that still true? And when you get in that mode where you're willing to question things, question you, the game changes right there. The game, sis said, get out of my house. The game changes right there. So listen, so look, so we have to we have to slide, we have to move on to key number 2. Listen, attitude is the foundational principle for everything. So look, key number 2, Sean, what's that? Let's go.
Key number two is your physical health. Now, why is this so important? And now, physical health could be a no-brainer, right? You're gonna say, okay, yeah, I have physical health, right? But if you're not motivated, or if you have low energy, that's going to affect your body. I like how you were saying when we had this conversation in the background, you were saying, this is the only vessel we have. I love that. This is the only vehicle that God can speak through, that we can be able to do and get and have, right? Through this one body. So we have to be able to concentrate on keeping us at least physical, to be able to enjoy the things. How are you going to enjoy a goal if your body ain't? How are you going to be able to enjoy anything if your body's out of whack? And your body will tell you if it ain't right. So we need to concentrate on this one vessel that God gave you, right? And make sure that it's in not tip-top shape, but start doing things to be able to say thanks to God for this gift, because it's a gift.
Again, what you said. So again, everything is going to relate back to key number 1. What we're saying is consider, because I don't like to tell you what to do, but consider your attitude regarding your physical health. Consider the fact that you have one vessel, right?
I love that.
Vessel, right? Consider the fact that you have these dreams, these goals, these desires. You have some things that you want to step into and accomplish. Imagine the pain of accomplishing all your goals and being sick. Accomplishing all your goals and never thinking about taking care of yourself physically. Now, another reason that's super important is because all of the things that we talked about, right? These mindsets, right? This being in your comfort zone, we talked about it being lazy, you losing your uniqueness. We talked about growth being stunted or limited, right? All of those things impact us physically. And because of the mind-body connection. So if we're not taking care of ourselves, right? Or, right, it goes both ways, right? So when I go to the gym, I get charged, I get energy, and I'm ready to attack the day, right? If I don't, then I have to push myself, and then that's when I need my DMX, and that's when I gotta really get. But when I move, right, when I take care of myself, when I eat and drink things that add to me, right, then I can move different, then I can see different, and then I'm in a different state, right? You know how it is if you go somewhere and you just feel like right, or when you go somewhere and you feel like right? It's a totally different energy that you bring, right? So we have to consider, right, our attitude around our physical health, right? And we don't even need to stay here long. That's just a very simple, right to the point, but we have to consider it, right? It's more than a
Absolutely.
look, it's a commitment. Exactly. I'm glad you said that. It's a commitment. That's a word. If we start talking about commitment, we'll be gone because
Yeah,
that word
maybe.
is
Yeah.
it's just so powerful. But you're right, it is. And again, commitment, what's underneath commitment? It's an attitude, right? If I'm committed to something, I have a particular attitude toward that thing, right? I have a particular thought and feeling toward that thing, right? I'm aligning myself, my integrity with that particular thing. My thoughts, words, and actions are in alignment with this because I'm committed to this. Well said.
Right.
I appreciate that. Very well said. All right. So anything else, or we can just move on
Nope.
to the next
Nope.
one? Yeah,
I
physical
mean, you
health.
pretty much
That
got.
one is pretty
Yeah,
simple.
that's
You know what I
easy. That's
mean?
pretty.
But
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
pretty
something
easy.
to think about, right? We got to take better care of ourselves. And the importance of the mind-body connection, I'm telling you, it matters. Because if you feel like, it's going to show in your body and it's going to impact you in all types of
I just say
negative ways.
how you gonna enjoy any goal or any desire, any ambition, anything. Maybe you want to go to maybe you want to travel the world. How you gonna
Right.
do that with no with your body out of shape? You ain't gonna be able to enjoy it. So
Exactly.
take care of this.
Exactly. Got to take care of ourselves. All right. Number three.
Number
Key
three.
number three. This is going to be a good one here, right? So, key number three, we're going to talk about assumptions, right? The danger of assumptions versus empathy, right? I'm going to read the definition of assumption, and then I want SJ, I want you to give us some insight on assumptions, right?
Right.
Assumption, a thing that is accepted as true or as certain to happen without proof. That's the dictionary definition, but I want you to run with this one.
Well, basically, assumptions is when you tell yourself something that's not true without having any evidence so there's no evidence behind what it is that you're telling yourself.
Give us some examples of that. Make
I'm
that
gonna give
real
you some
for me.
examples.
Make that real.
You don't get okay. Let's say this is, and these are really so good. Trust me.
Talk your talk.
You don't get a promotion at work. Now listen, guys. If you want to make a comment, and and if you have ever done any of these, you can put your hand up, whatever, right? All right. So you don't get a promotion at work, so you assume that you didn't do a good job, right?
So you make up a story. Okay.
You make up a story. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. Why I got passed over? Why they gave Sarah and they didn't give me? I must not be doing a very good job, right? And you could be doing a fantastic job. You just didn't get the promotion. But that's the story that you run with, right? Another one, your partner isn't talkative as of late. So you assume automatically that something is wrong with his love for you or her love for you. Automatically.
Wow.
How many people have done that? So you tell yourself a story in your head that, he didn't talk to me today. What's going on, right? A friend that you have, maybe a best friend, has 2 tickets to a musical or a Broadway show, whatever. And she don't take you, she takes somebody else. You are automatically concerned that the friendship is failing.
Friendship is over.
It's over. Done. So this is what I'm saying. It's like you always will make bad decisions because you're not working with the facts. So your decisions is going to be altered because there's no factual evidence because you already jumped out the window before getting the right information so you can make a correction, a determining accurate decision.
So I love this. I love this. So we have to be careful, right? We have to take responsibility and accountability for the stories that we tell ourselves about things, right? We just gonna make it true because we said, again, question, what else? Think about that. What else could that mean, right? What else could it? If we insert that there with those assumptions, it literally will laugh at ourselves. I've done it because I've said some things.
How many people have done it?
Do this and that? How's she going?
How many
She
people have done it?
I've done it with my wife, with my children, with people. I've done it with Sean.
You sure have.
And we laugh about it because that story, listen, I text them, and look, I text like a 12-year-old girl. So I might send him 5 texts back to back with memes and and he don't respond. I knew it. I knew he ain't like me because last time we was talking, he had made a face, and I knew something was up because if he was my friend, why wouldn't he respond? I sent him 5 texts back to back. Really?
Yes, yes,
What
yes,
else could
yes,
that mean?
yes, yes.
He's at work. He's a grown man with a life and responsibilities. Everyone doesn't text like a 12-year-old girl like you, right? What else could it mean, right? He was busy, he was this, and then he'll hit me back like, yo, and then I'm like, oh, shoot, okay, hey, what's going on? And then we would laugh about it because it's like, I catch myself like, yo, what? Really? And that's one of my weapons too. I'm gonna give it to you at no cost. What else could this mean? And really? So when you're making those assumptions and you get to going up, really? Is that what happened? He hates me. Really? He hates me because he didn't respond to your text. Really? Is that what that means? So really, and what else could it mean? I'm telling you, can literally change your life because with these big brains, we get to telling ourselves a story about a situation.
Yes, and we would go for it. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, and let me tell
and
you,
it keeps
and
us small.
that's part of the ritual and habits within your comfort zone. And that's where the
Exactly.
predictability happens. You lose friends, you assume, you may have burnt bridges, but once again, it's that predictability and that routine and that habit that has
this happened, so it means this. This happened, so it means this. This happened, so it means this. And we're just staying in hand. It's like, well, this happened, but it could mean so many other things.
So how do we get out of that? Number one, I'm going to say one thing, and then you can jump in, Aris, is become an asker, like you said. Become an asker.
Yeah, I always talk about that, right? Asking questions, right? And it begins with asking yourself questions, right? Of course, you can communicate with the people in your life, right? You know, girl, you had 2 tickets. Why you didn't take me? I took my grandma. Oh, shoot. Okay, my bad. Like, I thought you hated me. Like, no. What are you talking about? I took my grandma. She wanted to see the Colorado play. What do you mean? Why would I hate? What are you talking about? So asking other people is great. But before we even get there, we have to have that internal dialogue, right? Wait a minute. Like, wait, what else is going on here? What else could that mean? You know, I'm just jumping out of a plane and making this assumption and telling myself this story. And most of the time, it's always negative. We don't usually tell ourselves beautiful stories about a situation.
Absolutely not.
We don't say like, oh yeah, Sheldon was fine. He's probably this and that. We don't assume that. We assume something's wrong.
Absolutely. And we add to that story. And we add to it with the story.
Oh, we're so creative. Man, we'll put some Lawry's and a little bit of pepper, some garlic sauce, and onion salt. We'll season that thing up, get it right. We get that thing right, and then and we'll hold the person accountable to all the spices we put on there. And it's like, wait, what? What are you talking? Where'd all that come from? So we got to be mindful of that, right? We have to catch ourselves, right? So what you said was the asking, what else could that mean? Right? Is that what really happened? Well, what's real? What actually happened? And how much spice did I add onto it? Right? How much remixing did I do? Right? It was this song, and then I did it, and now I got features on there. I done added extra people and changed the beat and all that stuff. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. So again, I like that you said that we have to start slowing down and changing that internal dialogue and asking ourselves questions about the situation and evaluating it for what it is, not worse than what it is, right? And not less than what it is, right? If it's here, don't take it here or here. See it for what it actually is. And then even when we see it, still question that because I'm still seeing it through a particular lens, right? So what's on the other side of that, right? Here's a weapon that you can use. So we have to have that question. But here's the thing, this is what I use, and this is what really, really helps me. And this is why I can laugh at myself, because I go to empathy first.
Right, empathy.
I go to empathy first, right? I go to a place where I'm automatically going to think about, like in the example with Sean and my, 52 text messages, I go to, okay, Sean's an adult. Sean has a family. Sean has a job and basically 2 companies, right? Sean is out here making moves. Sean is not staring at his phone. You know what I mean? Sean might be doing this. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? Sean and I have an amazing friendship, an amazing relationship, an amazing brotherhood So I'm putting myself in his, oh, okay, boom. Let me make sure that I'm on point to give him the encouragement that he needs, because clearly he's busy, right? So he may need to plug into me and get his batteries charged. See the difference when I go to considering you, when I go to empathy, right?
That's really good.
Let's say someone is nasty. Let's say this is what happens, especially for us gentlemen, right? It happens more often, right? You hold the door, someone comes through and they talking and they don't even say thank you and acknowledge you.
Ooh.
Before you call them a jerk, an a-hole, an ignorant, I go to, okay. And I used to do that. I'm getting better. Y'all keep praying. I used to say, you're welcome. I say, oh, you're welcome.
I say that.
I say, oh, you're welcome. But now I'm like, why would I even, like, I don't have extra energy in my budget to worry about that. I chose to hold the door because that's who I am. And maybe it didn't occur to them what was going on. Maybe they were running their mouth. Maybe they were walking in. Let's say I'm holding the door at the Target. Maybe they're trying to figure out how they're going to make this $52 that they have left dance. I don't know what's going on in their world. They could be like, oh my God, holiday season, these 3 kids, I got to do this, and we need food in the house, but we need Pampers, and how am I going to fit? I don't know what's going on in their world, right? And when I become empathetic, when I just do that, sometimes even if they are a jerk, even if they are an a-hole, even if they are entitled, even if they see me as a peon that better hold the door for them, what is that to me? What is that to me? So when I go to empathy, right, it keeps me sharp. And that's what matters, right? Because let's say that. What if they were being a jerk? Okay. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? So I go to empathy, right? Versus assuming this, that, and the third. So it's about empowering yourself in these situations, right? And these are ways to help you to grow and stretch and become more. And this is how we just shatter that glass ceiling or just break that bubble and step outside of our zone of comfort by changing our ways of thinking, right? Have a little empathy. Are you always sharp? Are you always on it? Are you always at the top of your game? Do you always speak properly? Do you always think pure thoughts? Right. Of course not. Right, so have a little empathy for other people, and you're doing it for you first and foremost. Oh, I'm coining this term. Have a little selfish empathy. Ooh, y'all catch that? Selfish empathy. I'm going to operate from a place of empathy to keep me refreshed and sharp. I'm going to see the world through an empathetic lens, right? To help keep my heart pure and my vision pure. So you get to benefit. You benefit from it, but I'm gonna be selfishly empathetic.
I like that. I love that. All right. So any questions, any comments we got going on? If you have a comment or question.
Exactly.
Right.
I like that. So, pardon me, I'm looking at the comments. Yep. No, we rocking and rolling, brother.
All right. So the next key, guys, I need you to write these keys down.
Yeah, we rocking and rolling, baby. This is fun.
Now this is a good one. Gratitude versus hunger. Now I'm gonna break down gratitude and I'm gonna break down hunger, and I want you to just tell me, Reese, exactly, break that down a little bit and how they can actually work together. Woo.
Got
All
you.
right, so
Got you.
Gratitude is the quality of being thankful. I'm always in that thankful, right? Oh man, I'm so thankful. I woke up, I got a good house, I got investment property, I'm doing things, I'm getting to the bag. I'm so thankful, right? But then there's hunger. And hunger is a strong desire or craving. Now, when you think of hunger, you think of there's not enough on the plate, right? Sometimes you think that.
Come on, boy.
Right? So you got to be in a mode of, I need to get more. So again, how do they both can actually connect?
So
hunger,
this is
gratitude
huge.
And hunger.
This is huge because this is something that I have recently kind of been awakened to. So, like you said, gratitude. I'm always in a place of gratitude. I'm so grateful and
That's right.
thankful for, just my life and all of the amazing things that I'm connected to, the amazing people that I'm connected to. I live a very, very charmed life, right? In spite of everything I've gone through, I'm still standing. I don't look or feel like what I went through. So I have so much to be thankful for. And sometimes, right, that can get you to a state of, right? And you just want to kind of bask in that. And then, right, there's more out there for you, right? You want more. I have goals, I have dreams, I have desires, right? And then sometimes what I found myself doing was feeling guilty to be hungry for more, right? I somehow, so I didn't understand that the two weren't mutually exclusive. Like I either had to be in gratitude or hungry for more. And it's like, no, I can hold both of those fully. I can be fully 100% thankful and appreciative of where I am and what I have. And I can be 100% hungry to go get what's for me, right? So a lot of times we don't understand that we can fully have both. And
Right.
so we can become complacent because we're just like, I survived all of that. I'm not there anymore. So, I'm just so grateful. Look at this. Ha ha ha. Or some people are, I gotta get it, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. And they don't stop to smell the roses and be grateful for what they have. And so what we're proposing this morning is you're allowed to have both
Oh,
at 100, not half gratitude and half hunger. You're allowed to be fully 100% grateful for what you have and fully 100% hungry to go get more, to 100x everything you have. And it's a
exactly.
dance. We have to
It's a
be able to
dance.
hold them both. And maturity and stepping outside of your present self is being the ability to hold competing thoughts in your head and be fully both. I'm fully living in a state of gratitude, and I'm investing my time, energy, effort, money into going to get more, right?
Right.
I'm both. But for a long time, I felt guilty about being hungry for
Me
more
too.
because somehow I
Me
told
too.
myself that meant I was ungrateful for what I had. And that was a
Me
struggle for
too.
me for a
Me
long
too.
time.
Me too.
But
It's
you
like
need both, fully
we
operational.
need both. So basically, when I wake up, right, I'm thankful and grateful that I'm alive, but I'm also thankful to God or thankful to the being that made me be able to live now. Now I can. Now I'm
Mm,
grateful that I'm alive, but I'm able to
mhm.
be really going after it and be really living, being able to see the things. So you understand what I'm saying? I'm
I'm
glad I
grateful to be
exist.
alive and I get to live. I love it. I love it.
You
I
know what I'm
love it.
saying?
I'm alive
But I
and I'm
get to
living
live
at the same time. I'm
at the
alive
same time.
and I'm living. Oh, I like that.
You know what I'm
If I
saying?
was,
So
we should have been in the same room. I might have pushed you down for that one. That was heavy. I like that. Ooh,
but that's what
yes,
it is.
yes.
It's actually
I love it.
saying I'm waking up, I can be able to see, I hear, taste, touch for a reason.
Right,
So
right,
now, thank you. Now I'm going to be able to, because remember, he gave you the gift. These are gifts that you're getting. Everything around you is gifts. That's
right.
his gift to you. Our gift to him is to utilize it, to use
Bingo.
it, and that's our gift to him. So yes, we wake up and we be great, right? We wake up, we're grateful for taste, touch, hear, smell, all that. But
Right,
now I'm going to give my gift to him by using these resources to go after
right.
it. Because there's
Exactly.
more to see, there's more to
I love
hear,
it.
there's more to taste, there's more to
Come on,
touch.
boy. Listen. Listen, that right there, I think that deserves another quick minute. I'm grateful to be alive. And
I get to
now,
live.
because I'm so grateful, I get to go live. Oh, I love how that little spin, that did it for me. Like and then you use I love that you used our senses. I can see, I can hear, I can smell, I can taste, I can touch. So what do I need to do? I need to go see, go listen, go touch, go taste, go smell. I need to go use those gifts, right? And that's so funny. The goat, Les Brown used to say that back in the day, right? Life, is God's gift to us. And our gift to him is how we live our lives. That's
Absolutely.
literally what you just said. So that, dude, that was great. So You're allowed to be grateful, be thankful, and appreciative of everything you have, and hungry for those desires that are in your heart, because they were placed there for a reason. Hungry to
Exactly.
walk into your purpose, hungry to dive outside of your comfort zone. As my sis said, hungry to let go of that ledge so I can fly. I'm grateful
Exactly.
for this beautiful stuff that I have. I'm grateful for everything up to this point. But I see something. Yeah, and I need to go get it. And I'm
That's
going to
right.
fly. I'm thanking you in advance for the ability to fly and go get it.
That's it.
Ooh,
Woo!
that's that's
Love it.
that's heavy right there. That's heavy. All right.
Love
Let's
it.
see. Woo. Key number 5. Key number 5. Right. Ooh, this one is heavy. Right. We gotta
Heavy.
lose the victim mentality.
Losing
What is
victim
that about?
mentality.
You have to lose the victim mentality. Right. What's the victim mentality? Right. Woe is me. I'm always now. People with the victim mentality avoid personal responsibility at all costs. Right.
Absolutely.
This happened to me, and this happened to me, and this happened to me. And that's not taking away the fact that you had those experiences. But when we have a victim mentality, we don't want to take any responsibility for anything that goes on in our lives. And therefore, we aren't empowered to make any changes. Because guess what? If all the woes in my life are your fault, then I'm not empowered to fix it. I got to wait on you to fix it. And people
Mm,
that have that victim mentality, they have that mindset of, oh, look at this. See what I'm saying? It's raining on me again. Look at this.
right.
Oh, my tire blew. Oh, look at this. The doctor said, oh, look at this. She didn't call me back. She ghosted me. I thought we had something. Oh, look at this. He said this to me,
Some of
blah,
y'all
blah,
have
blah. And it's
friends that
like,
like that.
whoa, whoa, wait a
Some of
minute.
y'all guys have friends that like that.
Some
That
of
you just
some of us have been there. Some of us
yes.
have definitely been there. But when I awaken and realize, like, wait a minute, this is me. This is my life. I have to take responsibility for the thoughts that I think and the words that I speak and the actions that I take, right? The decisions that I make, what I choose to think about and focus on. And when that clicked and I shifted from that mindset of a victim to an empowering mindset of a victor, right? Now every situation that shows up, I'm ready to say, oh no, it's all my
Oh,
fault. Because it's when it's my fault, I'm empowered to fix it. If it's on you, I got to sit on my hands and hope and pray that you make a change. Come on now.
yes. Listen, we with a victim mentality or a person in that mode, right? With
Hmm.
that non-person not taking responsibility, they believe that life happens to them, not for them. I'll
One of
say it
my core
again.
principles.
Life
Come on now.
happens to them, not for them. Now, this is a personality trait that you created. It's acquired. You don't buy it off
It's
the street.
it's an attitude.
It's an attitude. It's an attitude.
It's an
That is what it
attitude.
is. You avoid stepping out of your comfort zone because you don't. You are comfortable placing blame on everything.
Hmm.
Now here's a
Right.
here's a caveat.
I would, but
Here's a caveat.
mm,
Here's the benefit
hmm.
for a victim with the victim mentality. Here's the benefit to them. They have a space for a pity party. Number two is they're getting sympathy from others. That's their reward.
Yeah, that feels good, right? That feels good. I know, girl. He should not have did that. I know it. I know, bro. That ain't right, man. She was tripping. Why would that happen? You like, man, I know that's right. You just like,
That's the payoff.
whoo,
That's the
like,
payoff.
mm, mm, yo, something you said, right? I want to go back to that principle because that's literally one of my core principles, right? Life happens for me, not to me. That's an attitude. Back to principle number 1, right? Key number 1. Think, what does that mean? Life happens for me, not to me. So everything I experience is happening, it's a benefit.
Right.
There's a lesson to be learned. It's even though it hurts right now, I'm going through this experience, it's shaping me into a better version of me. It's equipping me to do the things I need to do. It's strengthening me. It's building me up so that I can let go of this ledge and fly. so that I can step outside of this comfort zone. I've been standing on my mat. That was my comfort zone, right? But I can step outside of that, right? I can move around that. I can grow and stretch, because as I'm going through these things, right, I'm not looking at it like, oh, well, it's me. Like you said, I'm looking at it like, oh, wow, what did this show up to teach me?
That's right. Now
right?
listen.
And
listen to this. So I want you guys to
get excited.
Really write this. If
Helping
this
us
is
level
you,
up. That's right.
if this is you, this is 4 signs of you playing victim. So you can at least see it for yourself. 4 signs. Number 1, you catastrophic, right?
I struggle with that word too. You catastrophize. I struggle with that word.
You catastrophize everything. I love that. All your problems. The smallest inconvenience is the end of the world. Right? That's number 1. Number 2 is you engage in negative self-talk. You have these destructive beliefs that have you play that victim behavior, right? Or that victim behavior where you're putting yourself down, and putting yourself down is the norm because of the self-talk that you give yourself.
Whoa. Putting yourself down is your norm. Wow. Like, that's my go-to. So I stubbed my toe. See, I knew it. How I'm gonna be great if I stub my toe? And that's my norm. I go, wow. I'm sorry. I felt that though. I had to check myself right there. Like, I had to do a little evaluation.
That negative self-talk.
That's your norm?
Talking down yourself is the norm. Number 3, right? You feel powerless. There's no control. You feel that there's no control in your world. But here's the thing. In your comfort zone, you have all the control and all the power, right? So that's why you're where you are. But again, it's a choice. It's a personal choice, right?
Excuse me.
Now,
yes.
And the last one is you think the world is out to get you. You think the world is out to get you. No matter what situation is, you just think the world is against you, period, right?
Wow.
And
can you go through those again?
So again, number 1, what's that word?
Catastrophize. I'm telling you, I struggle with this one too. You catastrophize, right?
Catastrophize.
You catastrophize everything. I think I got it right.
Catastrophize all your problems, okay?
Right.
Even the smallest inconvenience is the end of the world. Number 2, you feel powerless. Number 3 is you engage in self-negative talk that is building, the self-negative talk is just your destructive beliefs, right? That nourishes that victim behavior where putting yourself down is the norm.
I got you.
So there's destructive beliefs.
So you're an encourager.
There's a destructive belief that nourishes that victim behavior.
So you're feeding it.
You're feeding it with that negative belief and that self-talk.
And you're finding things that align with it. See what I'm saying? See, you're not worth it because this happened. Had this happened because this happened. You're playing connect the dots with the negative stuff. So I got you. I love that.
You got that, right?
That. Yes.
And the last one is the world is always against you. So those are the 4 signs. And you want to make sure that you are able to, because the only way that you're going to be able to get out of your comfort zone and the behaviors is actually to recognize it, right? To actually sit in where you are and actually take an analysis of, am I doing these things? Because again, if you can be able to, remember they may not come in red flags. It's going to come in a way that you're so used to, like the norm of talking down to yourself.
Right.
You're not going to see that.
That's your norm. I don't even see anything wrong with that. That's what we do around here.
Right. So again, you got to be able to identify these things so that you can be able to have a plan of action. Right. So what would be the plan of action for this victim mentality?
Wow. So honestly, back to key number 1, attitude. I have to monitor my attitude. Excuse me. I have to change my attitude about situations and circumstances, right? I have to change my attitude about myself. Everything you described, those are philosophies, right? The world is against me. right? That negative self-talk, right? That's my go-to. So we have to, everything always starts with consciousness and focus, right? So when I say consciousness, I'm not talking about deep, and I'm talking about knowing and understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So, so being aware and what's the word I want to say? And evaluating my thoughts, evaluating the perspective that I choose. Another one of my core principles, and it fits right here, is I'm 100% responsible for my perspective.
Yep.
I'm 100% responsible for my perspective. So what that means is, look what's under that. There, what's under that? If I'm 100% responsible for my perspective, that means there's multiple ways to look at a thing. That's the presupposition. That's what I'm presupposing under that. Because if there's only one way to look at it, that makes no sense. But the precept is there's multiple ways to look at it, and I'm 100% responsible for my perspective. So what that does is that awakens something in me that, oh wait, there's different ways to look at this. And
Exactly.
so that understanding right there, that opens us
You
up to, again, to go from this just means this and that's it to, well, what else could that mean?
right, and
Right?
you
You
had
see what I'm
said
saying?
something. You had said something
That
very
process
key.
is heavy.
You said something very key. I want you to, and this is in plan of action, guys. How do we get out of a victim mentality? You had said something about shifting your thoughts from feeling like a victim to realizing you're a survivor. You had said something about that. And if we're able to do that, just find out, like, listen,
Right.
we had a live on that. I've conquered this.
Right. I'm not a victim of so-and-so. I'm a survivor of so-and-so. Think about what that means. Think about this, what you're telling yourself. You know, I'm a victim of, and you know, I'm a victim of abuse. I'm a survivor of abuse. That's a different walk. That's a different walk. You know, I'm a victim of this. No, I'm a survivor of this. That means let's get it. I slayed that dragon, right? I'm a victim of so-and-so. No. I'm a survivor of. That's a different, just that little tweak.
Yep.
Just that little tweak. It changes my whole body language, because I'm a victim of so-and-so. I'm handing out invitations to my pity party. I'm a victim of so-and-so. Here you go. Anybody want to come? I'm a victim of so-and-so. But when I say I'm a survivor of so-and-so,
I'm
now
taking
people
that.
want to get in line.
I'm taking that.
Now people want to, oh, real? Oh, tell me.
I want to see that.
I've been through that before, and I was a victim. Maybe I'm feeling like a victim, but now I want to be a survivor. Wait, you walk like that? Because victims walk like that. Survivors walk like that.
Yes.
Just the difference in that is life-changing.
Yep, I agree with that. 100%.
Again, I'm responsible for my perspective. Do I see myself perspective? Do I see myself as a victim, or do I see myself as a survivor? And that right there, that little tweak is game changing. But it all goes back to what? Our attitude and our philosophy.
That's so true.
It is whatever we say it is.
And when you say that, it's allowing us to start questioning and challenging our beliefs. If you have a destructive belief that's feeding that victim mentality behavior, then you need to start questioning those destructive beliefs.
Exactly. So the awareness, the consciousness of it, now it's like, oh, wait a minute. Because oftentimes we just get stuck in the usual and customary way of looking at something. This what we do around my way. So this is I have to just follow suit. Oh, absolutely. This happened. This equals this. So that's just it. No, this isn't math. This isn't simple math. You have other ways to process this. I don't have to process it the way everyone else processes it. Something like death, right? Something like death. When my dad passed, it was like everyone was like, no. I had a goal. I said, I'm gonna be the most useful person at my father's funeral. Woo! I'm gonna be the most useful person. I'm gonna be the shoulder everyone cries on. I don't need a shoulder to cry on. God called him home. He struggled and fought his whole life. He was sick, and God called him home in the timing. That ain't none of my business. That's above my pay grade. So I'm not gonna fall apart and have meltdowns and all of that. I mourned the way that I needed to mourn, but I focused on the healthy relationship, right? I focused on the fact that in his last season, right? Every conversation we had was healthy. We patched things up. We rid ourselves of some things, and everything was full of smiles and laughs and positive energy. And I believe that helped him to transition. I believe
Mm,
it with everything in me. It's above my pay grade to question that.
mm,
Who went
mm,
what?
mm,
So I
mm.
said, I'm gonna be the most useful person at my father's funeral. I'm gonna stand tall. I'm
Damn.
gonna look good. I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna bring that
Word.
positive energy. I'm gonna make sure my sisters are okay. My brothers are okay. His wife is okay. His girlfriend is okay. He was a bad boy. I'm gonna make sure everybody's all right. That's my responsibility here. I don't need no shoulder to cry on.
That's right. That's
I
right.
got my shoulders are strong enough for everybody. Let's go.
Mm.
That's a different attitude. Where I'm from, it's my daddy, don't take my dad. No, I don't
No.
subscribe to that.
Any
Not a victim
questions?
here. I had him for 60 plus years. I had
There
him
we go.
I had him for 40 plus my whole life. He had a full life. He lived it up.
Mm.
But
Any.
that's a different level of thinking right there.
That's right.
Not a victim here. Oh, I lost my daddy. The Lord called my dad home. That's a different vibe. It's
Whole
above
different
my pay
attitude.
grade. I ain't questioning that. Who am I? Why would you? Really? I'm not even
That's
allowed
right.
in that meeting. I ain't even allowed. My badge don't work on that floor where those decisions are made. Come on, y'all. All right, we got to move on because Sean
Yeah, we gotta move
got
on.
me
All
ready to
right.
have church. Come on. All right. So victim mentality, man. Let's move on with that's number 5. We're moving on to number
Okay.
6.
Number
Number
6.
6. Go ahead,
All
brother.
right. Number 6 is relationship to money and the comfort zone. We're gonna be talking about mentality. Remember, rituals, habits. All right. The way you think about money in your comfort zone can have a huge influence to your ability to even succeed. You got to figure
Wow.
out what that correlation. If I could talk, I'd be a
Correlation.
bad boy.
Correlation.
Correlation. A
I
poverty,
got you.
a poverty mentality is what we're talking about, right? So it's a mindset that developed and it's based upon fear, right? It's a strong belief that nothing is enough. I'll never have enough. And it's really rooted in how we were taught. Because this actually spoke to me and how my correlation with money was at the time. My mother always say, money don't grow on trees, right? Or the love of money is the root of all evil, right? Or just that not having, seeing her struggle, not enough, being in that gratitude moment, but being broke. So it's like, it's a taught, the poor mentality is a learned belief, right? It's taught, right? So we have to get into our minds that money is useful. I mean, they use money in church. They pass the collection plate. So money is valuable, right? It's able to help feed you, clothe you. Money, you need money in order for you to be able to provide value beyond whatever you have right now, because right now you're limited. But if you had the money to be able to do certain things, then you could be able to provide more value, right? Help and provide assistance. So money, I want you to understand that money is not evil. That we have to get that correlation out. If I strive to get the bag, then I'm being greedy. No, money is something that is used to be able to provide value to others.
Yeah,
And
it's
we
a
have to
tool.
see it that way.
Yeah, it's a tool, right? Like you said, it's a tool.
It's a tool.
Yeah,
It's a definite tool.
It does matter. It does matter, right? We're taught that. Hey, a lot of us are taught that it doesn't matter, right?
Right.
A lot of us are taught that if we desire, you just went back to the whole gratitude hunger thing, right? The whole living, like I'll be grateful for what we have. Some people are starving. Well, so I got to be happy with oatmeal because somebody else starving. Like I don't want to be happy with oatmeal.
Exactly.
Like,
but
I respect and appreciate the people that are starving, and my prayers, my heart goes out to them, and I help people. What I do is a servant, but I don't want to just concede to oatmeal.
Right.
There's more to the world than that.
Right. Right.
But sometimes in our bubble, that's it. This is what we do. This is what we eat. This is the most anyone. You make more than no one in our family's ever made that much money. But this ain't enough for me. Yeah, that's great. They pay you how much for an hour? Yeah, but So I'm supposed to feel guilty. So there's guilt attached. We start making we start doing okay, and now they shaking their finger at us.
I used to feel guilty when I bought something. I used to feel guilty when I bought something. I used to constantly worry about money. I used to feel bad. I used to not have hatred, but if I see somebody being successful and have money, I would feel some type of what's that word? That
like a little envious.
Envious. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I would have that feeling. But again, my correlation to money was wrong. I had to understand that money is being printed.
Yo, Sean showed me that one day, said, yo, they printed.
Money is being printed.
Yo, bro, they printed. I was like, huh? And I was like, yo, you're right. We send it through our phone. We push a button. And
everybody says, I want to make money. I want to make money. You can never make money. The government makes money, okay?
They print it.
The government prints the money. That's who makes the money, right? And we attach value to that piece of paper, right? We attach value to that thing we exchange goods and services for, right? So
I want to go back to something.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to go back to something that I feel is important. I feel it in my gut. You said something about I've had situations where I've spent my hard-earned dollars on something and I felt guilty about it.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
I felt bad about it.
I felt bad.
Like it's to the point with me. So my sons, they're 26 and 23 now, right? The older two. But like in those days coming up, it was like anytime it came time to do something for myself, it pained me. Like let's say I want to grab a pair of Timbs, right? I want to grab a pair of boots. I got to go through their room, check everything in there. Now they were fine. They had everything they needed. But I felt so guilty about doing something for myself. And that carried on for a long time. My wife, God bless her, is finally, I'm talking about now, finally, like I'm getting to the point where I'm comfortable, like, you know, spending a couple dollars on myself. Everybody's good. We're beyond blessed. We are great. But still, I go to look at something. Let me tell y'all, truthful moment. I used to drive around and I would go to every Ross, every Marshalls to hopefully run into some $40 Asics or a New Balance or something that I like, because I was not going to Foot Locker to pay the $100. Yeah. I had the $100. Now I done wasted my whole day. I done went to every Ross, every Marshalls in hopes I could find a steal because I felt guilty going in Foot Locker. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
My son's sneakers cost 3 times as much as mine, but I felt guilty, and he had his. But I felt guilty going to get myself.
Yeah, felt guilty. Always worried about money.
That's crazy. And I'm talking about recently.
Yeah. Always worried about money. Always worried about money and making decisions. Here goes the habits and rituals in your comfort zone. You make decisions based off of fear of not having.
Right.
So you would so basically you won't go. You ever been in a store and then all of a sudden you see something that you really want and you act like the price tag is hot as hell? So, oh shit! Damn, oh god damn! I can't. The fuck is $40? Yo, so this is we all do it. You act like the tag is hot as hell. So you're like, oh shit. The fuck?
Yo,
right?
Can I share one more? Go ahead, finish. I want to share one more thing about this.
What I wanted to do is actually say you got to have, a good, healthy relationship with money, knowing that it is useful. Now, what I want to talk about is I want to let you know that here's how you could be able. It's not about the money aspect. It's the value aspect. I'm gonna tell you how. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It says, and Bob Proctor says it all the time, and I want to tell you this, is that your compensation will be in direct ratio to 3 things: the need for what you do, the willingness and the ability to do it, and the difficult it is in replacing you. That's where your compensation comes in. What value are you providing to the marketplace? Because again,
repeat those.
So again, the amount of money that you will receive will be in direct ratio to the need for what you do. Is there a need for what you do?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Your willingness and ability to do it. How hard are you going to go in the paint? Number 3 is your difficulty in replacing you, right? So look at it. Let's talk about in the NBA factor. NBA, we have great basketball players. Well, we have a few superstars. That's because they figured out that it's difficult in replacing them. There could never be another LeBron. There could never be another Kobe, because they knew that their value that they bring is going to give them the money they need to receive. They deserve it.
They deserve it. The value they bring. Yo, listen. So underneath of this, right, goes back to where we began, right?
Ooh, let's go.
Feeling unworthy, right? Feeling that we don't deserve, right? Feeling that we're less than. So real quick, right? I'm gonna just give me 60 seconds. Went to Vegas with the wife in August, right? And I've shared this with Sean. And we're out there, and I don't know if you haven't been to Vegas, right? All the high-end boutique stores, they're everywhere around the strip, right? You go into a casino, and you got Chanel and Harry Winston diamonds and Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and everything just right there. Then there's a little mall, and it has, Saks and Nordstrom and Neiman Marcus and all these high-end stores. So I'm out there with my brother, and he shops like that, right? This is where he shops. He wears that kind of stuff all the time, designer stuff and all of that. That's his thing. So we're walking through Saks and looking at stuff and da-da-da-da-da. I felt like a fish out of water. I felt so small walking around it. I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like security was about to escort me out. I felt so weird. Then we were in Saks and we were moving, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna slide over here to Neiman, see what they talking about." Like, we're going to a different store. Now we're in Neiman Marcus, blah, blah, blah. And he's floating through there like, I belong here. Like, this is what I do. He's floating through there, boom, boom, boom. And here I'm just walking, and I'm like, I felt like I didn't belong. Then we're going into boutiques, and we're in Chanel, and I'm da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, and then we're walking through the mall, and then it just hit me. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm tripping. What's happening here? What do you mean you don't belong? What do you mean you don't belong here? What are you talking? And I had a moment, right? But for a while, I was going through it.
Yeah.
I felt so small. And I was just like, what is happening here? But to your point, right? And it's not even because I was broke. I could have bought something, right? You know what I mean? Like, I actually could have bought something. So it wasn't that like, damn, I can't, man. No, but I felt like I didn't belong there. I felt like, all right, when we going to Marshall's, because I don't belong here. Right. I literally felt like I didn't belong there. And a lot of the stuff you're seeing right now is like, wow.
Right. And that decision that decision and feeling is based upon the bad relationship you have to money, right? It's the bad relationship you have to money. But again, as long as you provide value to the marketplace, you will always have money. In fact, if you're lucky and you get a right ticket, you might get a whole boatload of it. So it's not the money. The money is always available. It's abundant. It's just how do you get to them? How do you get that into your
relationship with money? Adrian said it's like her buying her new car. Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. I want to get the car, but what's my mama and my sister and my cousin? They gonna be saying, and what is this and what is that? And it's like,
yeah, but check this out. I always say like this too. Look. Let me ask you a question. Have you, and then we can go to continue. Who has ever saw a starving bird walking around, starving, like it's skinny? All my birds, even the birds that feed, they're fat, they're healthy. And you act like, where are they getting the food from? They're just plucking from the dirt. You understand? So if the universe or God is able to provide for them,
exactly,
He could provide for you. You just got to provide. You just got to use the resources He gave you to provide value to the marketplace, and that money will come.
Exactly, and even in that, right, being okay with it, right? Like I'm just now getting to the point where when I have a conversation with someone and they say, how much does it cost to work with you? And I'm just like, boom. the number just flows. But I stumbled over it before. Well, how much, what can you, and well, what I usually charge is, but what can you do? Now I'm like, yo, it's X an hour. And I'm
Exactly.
only using X right now because the price might change by the time you see this. So
Yep.
it's X per hour. Because like you said, I know what I bring. A 30-minute conversation with me can literally transform a person's life. And now I'm becoming more comfortable with that, right? So I'm working on this. But look, I just had a moment. This was just August, just a couple months ago, where I was just like, so this is something I'm working on. So this is very, very personal for me. So that comfort zone,
Right.
Marshalls, I got to break out of that, right?
They just
No
did,
more
yo,
Marshalls
listen to
shopping.
this. I want you guys to understand.
Not that
They
there's
just
anything wrong with Marshalls.
right. They just, but you know what's so funny when you go to Marshalls, you make sure you go to the clearance section. But let me tell you something. But anyway, listen to this. Listen to this.
We got to move on. Go ahead.
They just signed a $1 trillion bill. Money is printed. They're printing it. It's paper.
Yo,
So this is
say
what I'm
no
saying.
more, y'all.
You got to understand your relationship with money. Know that it's not about money. It's about the value you bring to the marketplace. If you understand that, you will be fine.
Without question. Without question. All right. That was heavy right there. So number seven. Let's push forward, right? Number 7, your daily habits and rituals, right? This is the way to break free from your comfort zone, right? Your daily habits and rituals. We were talking about goals and dreams and desires and things of that nature, but honestly, the way to those things is found in your daily rituals. What do you do every day? What do you read? What do you listen to? Who do you talk to? Who are you connected to, right? What steps are you taking? Sean was leaning heavily into the word progress, right? Are you making progress toward your goals? So we need to examine our lives, and we need to really audit how we're investing our time and energy, right? To ensure that we are doing things, that we have these daily habits and rituals that are moving us forward, and not daily habits and rituals that are keeping us small, right?
Right.
That's what we have to dive into.
Because sometimes what we do is we gather a lot of constricting habits that determine what we think that we can and cannot do. And we do that in our comfort zone. That's why we're so used to the predictability of our results.
Right.
Think about it, right?
This habit gets me this. This daily thing I do gets me this. This gets me this. This gets me this.
So
and we don't even check it.
Right. So what you do repeatedly, which you choose, personal responsibility, is defining who you are.
Absolutely. Say that again, please. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. We don't even have to say anything else after
that. What you do repeatedly, which you choose, personal responsibility,
right,
is defining who you are. So in that comfort zone lies your identity.
Ooh. What you choose to do repeatedly defines who you are. And so in that comfort zone lies your identity.
Your identity is predictable. Your results are predictable.
So here's the power in that. Here's the power in that. As we awaken to that, as we change our attitude about our habits and rituals, you just said it. Our outcomes, right? Our results are predictable. So if I change my daily habits and rituals, I can predict my success, because I can take the necessary actions every day to move me toward the outcomes that I truly desire outside of my comfort zone.
And then, I like that. And to know once you have that awareness, then you know there's multiple escapes out of that prison. There's not one door.
There's not one door. We can stop now. There's not one door.
Once you change the awareness and your rituals and habits, you understand that you were living in a predictable environment that gave you the results as well as your identity. But then you see, shoot, there's a trap door. There's another door here. I could have left.
There's a ladder. There's a window. There's a boy.
Okay.
This is another one I would have pushed you if we was in the same room. This is Man, listen.
So it's very important for us to start to change our playbook, because the person at the gate, that gate that we feel is only one way, right? Even though there's doors that we haven't seen because we're not aware yet, but that person at the gate knows your playbook to a T, right? So again, we have to be able to internally do the work so that we can change the playbook, so that that person standing out in front of the door is so confused of who the hell who you are, because you have since grown. You know what I mean? So
your identity has changed.
So how do we, as far as the plan of action on that, as far as the rituals and habits?
Honestly, we're gonna make this real quick, right? Because we want to get through these last couple. So habits and rituals. So accepting the fact that our habits and rituals are what shape us, right? Or what create our identity. So accepting that, right? Having a target in mind and asking yourself, okay, what do I need to do daily so that I can become that? What does that look like? Okay, you want to do this. So what do I need to do every day? What are the things I need to develop? What do I need to learn? Who do I need to connect to? What does preparation look like for that thing? And I start to wrap my life around that. And I have to be okay with the preparation taking me outside of my zone of comfort, right? I am going to speak from large stages. I'm going to hold events that are weekends and weeks long, right? I'm going to have 100 people come out to Mexico and hang out for a week while I teach. So guess what I do? I read, I study, I listen, right? I get up every day and I deliver the equivalent of a keynote speech every morning, right? This is in preparation. This is stretching me outside of my comfort zone, because remember in the beginning, what I shared was my comfort zone was the attachment. Like, I got you on the screen with me now. I can dance all day. But then when you're not here, it's like, whoa, it's just me. So now I'm stretching, I'm growing, and I'm pushing. So basically developing the habits and rituals, doing the thing every day that's moving you one step closer, right?
I agree with that.
To becoming
100%.
The person that you want to become. That's essentially what it is. Not even essentially, that's what it is.
I want to add one thing to that. Add one thing to that, and that is time blocking. Time blocking. Plan ahead your time. And we talked about that. The time blocking, allowing yourself to be able to know what you're going to do before that day gets started. So it's very important.
Exactly. So yeah. my favorite mentor, Jim Rohn, he said, never start the day until you have it finished.
That's
never
right.
Start the week until you have it finished. Meaning, tomorrow I already have it mapped out. So I'm not blindly going through. I'm intentional about my habits and rituals. I'm intentional about what I'm doing, because I'm intentional about where I'm going and who I'm becoming. Fire.
So the next one
ahead, brother.
Is
number 8.
Number 8 is relationship with adversity. This is another heavy one, guys. Write this down. Relationship with adversity. Now, the definition of adversity is basically, and I'm going to say this very slow, continued difficulty or misfortune. So the difficulty it's not a one-time shot. It's going to be a continued difficulty of misfortune. So how do we help get out of that comfort zone when we do have adversity come our way?
So let's dive right into it, right? This is literally my thing. This is my thing, right? So the first thing is, notice the word, we're changing our relationship with adversity. So number 1 is accepting and understanding the fact that there's always going to be tests, trials, and challenges. You said continued difficulties and misfortune, right? So whoever sold us on that plan that everything is just going to be roses and wonderful, that's not how life works, right? There's always going to be a test, a trial, a challenge. And the reason, especially on your way to becoming the person you desire to become, right? So there's always going to be something. So number 1, just accept that, right? And then number 2, back to what we talked about earlier, right? Oh, life happens for me, not to me. So could it be that these tests, trials, and challenges that keep showing up are showing up to add to me and not to take
Mm,
from me?
mm,
Back to attitude and philosophy. So when, right, when I'm tested, right, instead of cowering, instead of saying playing the victim, instead of having a negative attitude about the situation, instead of questioning God, instead of all of those things that a lot of us tend to do, what we can do is get excited because this is an opportunity for me to grow. I can look at the thing and say, wow, what did you show up to teach me?
mm.
Right? What did you show up to teach me? How am I going to be a better man, a better husband, a better father, a better communicator based on this particular punch in the mouth?
Mm.
Back to attitude, back to philosophy. Again, changing your relationship. You no longer get to bully me, adversity. You are now a friend to me.
Mm. Mm.
There's a quote, one of my favorite quotes. It says, adversity introduces a man to himself. Adversity shows up to show me what I'm made of.
Mm.
How about that?
Mm.
So
Mm.
everything is attitude, everything is philosophy, everything is perspective. Think of adversity. Adversity shows up to show you how strong you are.
Mm.
Adversity shows up, sis, to pull the greatness out of you, not to keep you small. It actually showed up so that you can put your cape on and show them who you really are. You wouldn't do that without adversity. Superman wouldn't have to go in the phone booth unless a bad guy showed up.
Mm. Yo, is this like you said yesterday about the duffel bags of heads?
That's right.
Right? So
I don't know where that came from, but that's right.
So basically every event in your life, or I could say life itself, is a classroom of learning lessons. It's a classroom. We're here to learn, but we're also here to be able to, with those challenges and that adversity, it's actually given us the strength to push forward. I like the fact that like I'm slaying heads here, going through life. I love that.
Yo, listen, and I'm gonna say this, and then we got to move on because we're going to hit these last two, right? So you just said something. So wisdom comes through adversity.
Yeah,
because we go through situations, and when you said classroom, it hit me like we go to the classroom and we learn, right? But then as we go through, wisdom is when I actually apply said knowledge. A lot of us walking around with the whole game in here, and something happens and we just like, I got all the tools in my bag, something happens, I drop the bag and run. No. Wisdom is when I actually go and, oh, I got a tool for this. Oh, I got a weapon for this. Hold on, I got this. Anyway, we got to move on. So that's what it is. Changing your relationship with adversity will literally totally launch us out of our comfort zone. We'll
right.
Go look. We'll do a Superman or Supergirl. We'll snatch that suit off or that whatever, and go take off.
Let's go.
All right, number nine. Key number 9: seeking help. Seeking help. And we're going to keep this one short and sweet, right? One of the true signs of emotional maturity is knowing who and when to ask for help, right? A lot of us, we either go to the people who are going to, like Sean said, who are going to give us a pity party, who are going to encourage us to stay in our comfort zone. Girl, why you need to go out there? You already then graduated. You doing better than the rest of us. Why you need to explore that? You've been working there 20 years. Why would you change careers at this point? Why would you? So knowing who and when to ask for help. Get the map before you go in the woods.
Now listen, that's 100% true. A lot of people don't want to seek help because they might have a fear of looking stupid, right? Now, where is that, or looking like they're weak, right? Now, where does that come from? Let's correlate that to emotions. So our emotions of fear and pride is the problem. That's the cause.
That's a huge part of it.
Self-worth.
I have to actually admit that I'm not sure which way to go here. I'm at a fork in the road, and someone sold me on the fact that I need to know everything. I need to have all the answers. No, God sends people, right, to help us, right, to
Absolutely.
help us talk through things and to help us to, to provide us information so that we can make quality decisions. But a lot of us, you use the word, we have that foolish pride, and it gets in the way. And then again, that's just a way to keep us small. Or the other side of it, and I know y'all can attest to this. You're particular about who you ask, because if you ask me, I'm gonna give you, I'm going, now you're gonna become accountable, because I'm gonna tell you exactly what you need to hear. You gonna go ask what's the name, because they're gonna be like, well, I mean, da, da, da. So I ain't gonna, like, I know when I'm in a jam, I'm like, yo, Sean, you got a minute? Hit me up when you get a minute. He knows when I say hit me when you get a minute, he calls immediately. He knows it's something I need to process through, and I'm gonna share it, and he gonna say, what? Man, you need to, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. I could have talked to my son about it. He's 9. I could have told him what was going on, and he'd have been like, but wisdom says I'm gonna plug into the proper source, right?
Right. Right.
So knowing when and who to seek help, right? That's a true sign of maturity, right? So number 10, we got to get there, because we want to stay on our time, right? This was awesome, by the way. Number
Last
10.
one is environment and success. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
How does our environment equal our success? Well, let's define success. The best definition of success for me was actually something quoted by Earl Nightingale, where he said that success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal or idea. So as long as you're progressively, not going back, progressively going toward the goal or the idea that you're shooting at, you are successful, right? So creating a right environment will allow you to do it. That's like they always say, dress for success, right? Mm-hmm. You have to your environment has to match your determination to be progressively shooting to that target. So what does your environment look like? We're not even talking about people, but we're talking about the things around you, your work, your workplace. How does it look? Is it cluttered? Are you keeping sayings or affirmations on your wall so you can keep focused? How is your environment making sure that you hit that target?
Yeah.
Environment means everything.
I love that. So couple quick things, right? Setting yourself up for success. So my alarm goes off at 4:44, and I get up to go to the gym. Next to my bed are my sweats, my shirt, my hoodie, and my sneakers. They're right there, right? I don't have to go to the drawer, dig out, find the thing. I don't have to go over here, do this. I'm setting myself up in the morning, because all you need is one little reason. I don't want to make no noise. I don't want to wake up the missus. So I ain't going to be rattling around. So you're setting yourself up, right? My workspace, right? Getting rid of clutter and junk and creating a space where I can operate the way that I need to operate, right? My home, right? Keeping things clean and in order, right? Because you walk through the living room and you see all this clutter. It's like, frustration tries to show up. Now I'm looking at my wife or my son funny. So no, let's clean up. Let's do this. Let's set things up so that we can operate the way that we need to, right? So everything that we're connected to, right, we need to examine and say, is this adding to me or is this taking from me? And so setting it up so that we can be successful is very, very simple things, but those simple things can be life-changing. Literally can be life-changing, because listen, if you walk through a place where there's clutter, and we're all wired differently, right? But I know for me, if I walk through the living room and there's like a mess, it's like, it takes from me. And that's another one of my core principles. Nothing gets to take from me. So if I feel something taking from me, what I'm saying, I need to step back and evaluate that situation and figure out how this is now going to add to me.
Absolutely.
That's changing my relationship with adversity.
Absolutely.
It was a body shot, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do that. So how can I, clean up, do this, do that,
exactly.
Set it up. You know what I mean? Prepare, do some things in advance, right? I don't like stressful mornings. So I iron my son's uniforms on the weekend. It's already ironed. I iron my wife's work clothes on the weekend. So they're already hanging up and ready, because I don't want stressful. You be setting your environment up for, because I don't want a stressful morning. So
and that would
I want
add,
to get that stuff out of the way.
and that would keep you aligned as far as your attitude.
Bingo. So all of these things intertwine. All right, it's 11:54. I want to stay on our time. Any questions
Yes.
before we close? Ooh, this was fun. This was
I
fun.
loved it. I had so much fun. Any questions? Any comments? Any last words? Like I said, we're gonna be doing this continually.
Oh yeah, a lot more coming. It's just the warm up.
This is the warm up. But yeah, we are here to be able to serve and to provide value as much as possible. But serving is number one and key to this whole entire conference. I hope that you guys at least can see that there's other exits strategies in your comfort zone that you can tap into, right?
Absolutely.
And that you understand how you can at least get out of your comfort zone.
This was amazing.
Any questions or comments before we close? I'm sorry, go ahead, Adrian.
So this was amazing. It was free, but I promise you, I probably should have a price tag on it. Good information, a lot of practical information, a lot of reminders, just good. Very attentive. It's really, really, really good. So I'm gonna do a what you call the thing, testimonial, and I'm gonna send it to Reese, and Reese will give it to you.
Yes.
Thank you. You rock. You made a great point about practical reminders. That's the whole point. See, a lot of times we want to get deep and we want to get fancy. We need to be reminded of the fundamentals, because that's what we build upon, right? Those foundational principles, these things are what set us up to do the fancy stuff. But if we don't get those fundamentals right, if there's a crack in the foundation, I don't care how cute the house is, it's about to come down.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think it's important for you to also people understand that these fundamental principles are the resources and gifts that the universe and God has given you. He's going to give you all the tools and resources for you to be able to do what you have to do, but he also punishes you if you don't use them well. There's a gift. There's a gift, and you got to use it. And like I said, it's all practicality, but it's all in here. It just needs to be sometimes brought out into the light so you can see it. Now, whether you implement it, that's another story.
Right. And when you said, God gives us the gift, and us using them is giving him back the gift. And I know package me with a lot of gifts, and I don't want to return to heaven with my gifts unopened.
There you go. Miles Monroe said it, and then I want Malik to jump in if he doesn't mind. Miles Monroe said it: the wealthiest place in the world is the graveyard, right? So many of us are not bringing our gifts out. Oh, you drive? Oh, okay. He's driving. Okay. You're muted. If you want to. Oh wait. Let's see. It won't.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. Good morning. Good morning.
Can you hear me now? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Y'all giving away some real good information. A lot of it is, obtained, but it's the reminders, and it's actually the foundational information that you're giving out. Like, the principles of just the way you move, man, in life. It's good information, man. I appreciate it, man. I needed these reminders, I was setting myself up to go do one of my side hustles, get a little piece of green paper they print. But those gifts that she was talking about that we all have, that we all blessed with, it's just, bringing them out and using them, because there's a lot of giving back, there's a lot of value I have that I can give back and help others with myself. But you gotta help yourself first before you can help somebody else. And, you gotta be on top of everything,
That's
so
right.
I'm tapping in. I'm gonna stay with you, brother. Tell your wife I said hello, you know what I mean? I'm all the way in, brother.
We appreciate you.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all, man. For real, this is what's needed. And you find it in small spots, small groups. As soon as I see what you had going, I said, I'm going to stay with this and see what happens. We're going to make some things occur. Definitely.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. That means the world. Thank you. Yes, we're on a mission. Thank y'all. Listen, this was fun. I'm excited, man. I'm ready to run through a brick wall right now. I'm so excited. This was great. That time went quick. I looked up like, oh man, what in the world? We gotta close. But this was fun, man. Thank y'all. This was exciting, man. This was fun. You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
You keep he always cuts my mic off. I tell you, he always.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that, but pardon me.
Yeah, we
But
appreciate
yeah, this was
y'all.
great,
Like
man.
I said,
Thank y'all. Yes.
thank you so much, and for sticking with us, and you know, we're gonna continue to do what we have to do to be able to give as much value as we can, and you know, Reese is still gonna be there every morning, and I'm gonna.
For sure.
But we're gonna try to do something in the evenings. But we got something going on, cooking and brewing for you guys, and I hope that you guys again implement something today. One thing,
right. One thing.
I'm telling you will change the direction, and you will pivot without even knowing it.
Absolutely. Thank y'all. Listen, we have to close because we want to be mindful of the time. But thank y'all so much for tapping in. Go ahead out there, enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback, and thank you for tuning in and just allowing us to serve. This was awesome, man. You guys rock. Thank y'all so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, we are signing off. Enjoy y'all day. Appreciate it.
Stay blessed.
Yes, sir. You too.
Right.